So as I just realized, I didn't add enough information to a couple of things, so I know I cut snippets, so here and there. Again, I'm not really good with this YouTube building videos and all this kind of crap, so bear with me. I try to put as much as information as I could out there for you guys to kind of just tune in, okay? Well, we fucking made it after almost dying a few times. Look at that background. Fucking badass. Hey guys, so again, as promised, I do have the video now. I'm gonna go ahead and answer a couple of the questions. Well, actually not a couple, all the questions that I got from you guys, and some of that were exactly the same questions, so I'm not obviously gonna be answering every single one of them. I thank everybody for actually asking questions and I honestly had no idea that a lot of people were actually watching what I was doing, which is really cool. So I am grateful for that. So I'm gonna start by the first question. The first question says, how different is it from where you're currently at compared to LA? And the question is, it's a whole 360 difference. Culture shock all the way. Obviously people here are so much more quieter. They're more in their little zone. Just not as like outgoing as I am. So I think that's kind of been my biggest struggle throughout like my transition here over the last month, because it is my first month here. So I am actually pretty excited that I've made it this far and that I haven't cracked or I haven't been homesick or anything like that. But again, I've just been keeping busy, just trying to make the most out of my time here. So what kind of inspired me to just change in my direction where I was going was just the fact that everything was just going nowhere in LA. I feel like it was just hard to, move up in the company. It was hard to get a decent pay rate. It was hard to have my own space. And really there was no boundary between my work life and my personal life. And I wanted to work on that this year. And, I just kind of started thinking about this around January, after kind of the whole pandemic thing kind of shut down everything, and it changed my mindset a lot. So due to that, I decided to just try something new and just take the leap, really, and just not be afraid to fail, and knowing that you're never really stuck at one place and it's all in your head at times. So that's exactly why I decided to just say fuck it and make the leap and leave my friends and people that I care about behind. So yeah, it is so different up here. People are just in their own zone. The weather is obviously gloomy. It's not as hot as LA, so I do miss that, but it's not that bad. It's a change and it's a good change. I wanted the more calmer environment. I wanted more peace. I wanted to be able to have my own space, my own apartment, which I was able to do. And I know in LA it probably would have been impossible for me to, afford a place or even have my own little, apartment ever, really. So it was getting frustrating, which is why I moved up here. So yes, I miss all of my friends. I do miss you, boo. I missed everyone. I really, had a good friendship like with almost everyone I met. So, that I definitely do miss. Starting brand new here has just been hard, but not impossible. I have made a couple new friends in the more couple weeks, more recent weeks, and that's kind of been really exciting to do. Yeah, I mean, LA is the city to live and die, but it can be replaced. I really do think so. I think once you start building some friendships and letting go of people that you knew your whole life, and you kind of just start looking more into like things that you weren't looking into, just as far as what makes you laugh, what what you enjoy personally. So yeah, LA can be replaced, definitely. Obviously, it's the weather that you're paying for at the end of the day when you're back home. If your friends are there for you and your family are there for you, they're going to ride for you and they're going to come visit you and they're going to call you and they're going to check in on you. And I think that's also why I wanted to move, because it does test a lot of friendships and a lot of connections that you've made in LA, and like just leaving and kind of getting to know who you are as a person. I think it's really important, especially if you don't have a family and you're not settled in and you don't have a, significant other, or you're not married, or you don't really have kids, or a lot of things tying you back home. Then why not, try, looking into possibly moving and trying something new while you still can, because I know that it's definitely harder and a lot more challenging once you have a whole family. and I encourage it, So, the thing is, if they ask me if I plan to come to LA, I don't know at the moment right now. I want to say I want to. I would want to like go back, of course. However, I'm just letting life do its thing and really just carry me, wherever it goes. And maybe in a year I'll revisit that question again and I'll see where I'm at. I mean, like I said, I'm adjusting while I'm meeting people here. I'm, kind of doing the dating thing a little bit more frequently than I was back in LA. And even that's been interesting. So that's also that. Let's see. How is it being away from friends and family? Like I said, it's lonely. It's been a little lonely, but not to a point where, I can't handle it. And I think part of that was because COVID. With COVID, I stopped seeing my friends so frequently. I stopped seeing my family so frequently. I was only working all the time. So obviously, the only time I had was probably more recent months that I was able to spend more time with my family. So it's not a big change, honestly, from just being so busy from working and just having me time that I don't really see friends and family as it is. So when I was in LA due to COVID, so I don't miss them as much. And when I do, I FaceTime them and I try to be as, connected with them, I guess, through phone, texting and all that good stuff. So, let's see. How was it finding a place to live? That was actually really freaking stressful because I got on Hot Pads. I got on Zip. I forgot what it was called. It's some other couple websites where, they're legit places to look into if you're renting. And that was really challenging for me personally because I have bad credit and I'm trying to build that credit. So obviously just applying was just constant denials. And at that point I was like, fuck, like I already landed the job. I already have a start date. However, I'm like, where am I going to live? Like, oh my God. And not only that, but what is my budget? How much am I willing to spend living on my own? Again, this is my first time having my own place, my own home. So the whole thing just kind of was an insanely stressful process. And if it wasn't for two of my really good friends, Ray and Sydney, who already lived here in Washington, that I had met in my previous time here, they were the ones who were very encouraging. They would send me links to new places and vice versa. So I ended up landing this place. And I actually had one of my friends, Sydney, come check it out. And she was able to FaceTime me and I was able to see the apartment prior to actually moving in. So when we got here, I was a little like panicked. I was like, oh my God, what if we get here and I got scammed and I don't have the key? And it was crazy because I was trying to open the door and I couldn't. So I was kind of freaked out, but thankfully the landlord was able to like call and fix that situation out and figure it out, which, thank God, because I was like, oh my God, like, where am I gonna go? So it just worked out that way. Again, I just try to verify, looking at contracts and looking at fees and trying to look up on Google if the actual apartment exists, because just the fear of getting scammed was like really fucking real, honestly. I think it was just my anxiety, just making up all these situations that were probably not even there. Let's see. How is it? Let's see. What did I do with my stuff? Well, to be honest, I threw some stuff away. Most of my things, I boxed all my other stuff and I left it at my mom's house. I gave her the option of either throwing things out or, selling it, whatever was best to her convenience. And the reason was because I had a really good friend of mine who told me that I was just best to start over brand new, so I didn't have to carry everything with me. So I think that was really important to kind of do it. It's more like a spiritual thing where, I'm starting brand new and I really don't need to carry that baggage, literally that baggage with me to a different state. Because I was seeking that growth as a person, and I think that was really hard to do while, taking all these things back with me or bringing them with me upstate. So there was a few things that were sentimental who, I did bring back a couple of paintings from some of the guys I used to work with. So that is very meaningful and why I still have it with me. But other than that, I tossed most of the other shit out. Let's see. So yeah, that's just it was just crazy how, I mean, I applied like in January. I didn't get a call back until like March, or yeah, March. And I interviewed then, and then I also had interviewed for a different position at my last workplace in LA, and I didn't get it. And so when I didn't get it, I felt really discouraged, and I was just leaning more towards moving. I felt like it was not an opportunity for me to grow. So that's also why I decided to just, you know, get out. And sure enough, I got the job offer, and that was a little complicated in its own because I did have to do background check. I had to do like paperwork submissions and all that stuff. So most of them I was able to do via mail, which had me a little stressed out because I was like, I need to also secure my job, need to also secure the house, need to also secure, you know, the fact that if I can afford it. And I think that was the scariest thing throughout this whole move, like just being able to afford like gas and to afford food, afford everything. And that's exactly how I've been managing, really, just kind of being like definitely more stern on choices I make as far as like spending things. Let's see, where did you move to? I moved to Washington, Seattle. Well, near Seattle. It's about 20 minutes away, so it's pretty close. Found a job, and then like 2.5 months before I heard callbacks. You know, I had a couple of interviews, and again, it's just about submitting a shit ton of applications. And I always just like emphasize like on the fact that I speak Spanish, and I think a lot of places that are not California or more far away tend to not have as many Spanish speaking people out there applying. So definitely one thing I would encourage. Let's see. What job did you get in Washington? So I actually, if you live in LA, you probably heard of the DCFS. So Department of Children, Youth and Family. So it's basically, I mean, not basically, it is the same department. It's the same department that I work for in the state here. So I do have a state job, and also why I was able to, you know, so quickly make the decision to move up here, because for many of us, it's pretty hard getting a state job in general. So that's why I was like, you know, even if it's not the best pay or it's not where exactly I want to be at the moment, I'm going to take it and I'm going to do it, and then see where that takes me in a couple more months, you know, after my probation period. If I have the option to move up, I would definitely look into that. Let's see. Yes, I did all of my applications and all of my process about moving before I left. So I was here. I did, however, fly out to Washington around February, just because I needed to see if it was something that I was open to still doing and kind of testing the waters out in a sense. And also, you know, saw a few apartments while I was there too. And again, this was just like a weekend thing, so I wasn't there, you know, like a week or anything crazy like that. So again, that kind of solidified that I did want to move up there. And because I was just tired of all the crap in LA, you know, it's just so busy. The traffic, the people sometimes are so snappy. Everyone's on edge. You can't afford shit. You know, it's like a constant cycle. So yes, to answer that, like one of the questions, and it was scary. I think a part of me is still scared because, you know, I have only been here for a month and some change some days. Honestly, that's, you know, that's how new I am to just everything here. And I just want to give a shout out to the people who may be watching this and I just met recently. I really appreciate like everyone that's been so welcoming to me. And I from the bottom of my heart, I really, really appreciate that. Just being invited to, you know, just like meet more people and like drink and, you know, just have a good time and socialize. I think that's definitely been a blessing. So I really appreciate that. And just like the last question is hella stupid. So shout out to, you know, Kim for that question. And to answer that one, if I get more dick, yes, I fucking do. I do, because, well, not to put my business out there, but yes, I do feel like I have more luck in getting a text back here than I do, well, when I did when I was in LA. You know, dating in general has been a lot more smoother for me. Just getting to meet people. It's like, quote unquote, having more suitors here. It definitely is true. But, you know, I'm taking things slow at the moment, and I'm taking things one step at a time. I'm not rushing anything. But, you know, your girl has game. You know, she's a bad bitch. So obviously it's just all been a crazy journey for me. But no regrets yet. No regrets at all. Everything has been smooth for me. I'm healthy. you know, I'm still learning the ropes about living here. I kind of, you know, the time when I was in LA and stuff, I realized I'm not that great of a cook. So I'm still learning, you know, just like the process of that. Like, oh shit, I really have to get back into that. Or, oh shit, like I don't drink enough water. Just like shit that you don't really realize it because you're so busy with everything else, that because you're by yourself now, you start realizing you're like, holy shit, like I'm kind of a germaphobe in a way, like, or shit, like I don't like dirty dishes, or, you know, just shit that before you weren't really paying attention to. Or like, oh crap, I like my space, I don't like people, or I don't even want to go out on a Saturday night. You know, that's how easy it's been to kind of identify all that. And it's just been like a process for me, all about growth, and it's all about just getting to be okay with being by myself. And I think because I'm in a space to do all that right now, I'm thriving. So I would just recommend it. If you're in your 20s and don't have kids and don't have anything holding you back, like look into moving elsewhere. You know, I considered Korea as one of my options, honestly, and it's still up there if things just don't fly the way that I want it to. Or, you know, if I have the opportunity to do a change like that, a drastic change, I would definitely leave the country, you know. That's still up and open. So we'll see where, you know, this year takes me and the rest of the year takes me. And, you know, I also just did this video for myself so I can look back at it and see where, you know, I was at, you know, the first month I got here to where I am now. So, I mean, so far so good. I'm going to keep, you know, updating. I'm going to keep posting, and I'm going to keep like, you know, just posting things that like I feel benefit me, and, you know, will keep everybody else entertained on social media. So I have been hiking, as a few of you guys know, I am interested in that. So I have been, not as frequently because I'm still adjusting and stuff, and it's still pretty rainy out there, but I have been, you know, to a couple cool hikes, and just like the nature here is fucking beautiful. You can't, especially when there's sun out, like holy fuck. Definitely recommend it. Like fuck LA, honestly, when it comes to like the weather. I guess during the summer here, it's nice and it's worth it. So yeah, if you're good friends with me or just ever in town or want to check out Seattle or anything like that, just hit a girl up. I'm always open to meeting you up and having some one-on-one tea time or drinks or whatever the fuck, you know. So yeah, thanks for watching if you made it this far. If you have not, then you can fuck off. All right, bye. It's good.